Hey, what is going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at the Frame Arms Girl Architect. Now, you may remember I've actually already reviewed the Architect off-white version, but there's a little bit something different about this version other than the fact that it's just in a different color. This is obviously the original in just a kind of gray and white version there, white hair, and then gray for like the suit and everything like that. The different thing about this kit is that it also actually comes with some weapons in there, so it's got these weapons here on the side. Those are also available separately, but they're also available together with this kit, so that makes this kit a little bit more interesting as well. So as always, guys, a huge thank you to Yes, Gundam Store for sponsoring this review. Do check the link to their site down below, as they do carry Frame Arms Girl stuff like this, other Frame Arms and Kotobukiya kits, as well as, of course, everything Gundam. You can save 10% off everything using my coupon code there, ZakuAurelius10. It's all down in the video description, so thank you so much for checking that out. And so here we have on the front of the box is just basically the same thing as usual, very typical Frame Arms Girl styling there, of course. Looks good though. And then on the bottom and top, just the same thing there. Nice close-up of the face of the illustration. Let's go over then onto the side then where it's showing off the weapons. Now at the moment I can't remember what the name of that weapon is, but it's just these big, huge things that attach onto the arm, and you can make them into like big fists like that, or these big claws like that, which is pretty cool. And there's also like a pile driver feature on there as well, so you can kind of choose. There's basically 3 different options for what you want on those, so some nice options for that. Pretty cool, unique weapons. Of course, you have the full range of just regular hands we have always included with all the Frame Arms Girls kits. And gimmick here is that's basically you can attach just these attachment parts onto the arm to be able to attach just regular Frame Arms robot arms, as in like just regular Frame Arms arms onto there instead of the humanoid girl arms. And then customize, of course, you can customize it with all sorts of other different parts and things like that from the Frame Arms or MSG line of stuff. And then here's exactly how it's going to look straight out of the box, looking very cool there. You can see, obviously going to be missing some color apps, especially on these parts here. Not going to be looking quite as nice just straight out of the box, but still pretty good. And of course, you can always paint those up to add in some more detail. Going around here on the other side, you can see what our different face options are for this kit. A little bit boring, just kind of looking a little bit off to the side and looking a little bit off to the other side. Basically nothing really too much exciting there for the face options for this, unfortunately. And then for the decals, we've got some cool markings there, basically just a couple little bits, Frame Arms Girl markings, and a couple little animal cute faces that you can put on there. And then just the eyes, you have options whether you want to make the eyes in red or in blue, so that's pretty cool if you wanted to change those up. And the list price for this is 4,500 yen, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive. The off-white version is cheaper because it doesn't come with the extra weapons parts in there as well. But let's check it out. So of course we've got our skin tone parts, and then basically just a bunch of like gray and black. Oh, and some of these parts are in like a kind of metal injected, a metallic injected silver kind of color. So that's pretty cool. Parts for the weapons. But underneath all of that, we can find our manual here. Let's take a look at this. Basically on the front, just the same thing that's on the outside of the box. On the back, nice gray gradient there with the Frame Arms Girl logo. Opening it up to the front page here, some more posing and weapon options here, weaponizing that with those cool parts there with the fist. Personally, I like the claws the best. Here we go, the claws. The fists are kind of okay, and it's kind of a unique thing, I suppose. The pile drivers are also kind of interesting, but not really for me. The claws, I think, are the coolest options. That's what I'm going to be going with. We do also have our color guide here as well. So you can see the color is going to be pretty simple, different tones of gray and silver flesh tone. And that's pretty much it. A little bit of light blue. I'm guessing that's pretty much just like for these little tiny accents there on the bare leg, like that, bare as in unarmored leg. And then over here, just the Frame Arms Architect frame there, just highlighting a little bit about that as it's the inspiration for this particular design. In the back, we've got some other different options here. It's showing you some different options, things that you could do customizing this. With the arms, I believe that's the arms of the Kobold. These would be our parts from the Type 48 Sniper. Do have that kit, and I've not yet to review it for you guys, so I will get around to that one eventually, I promise. But anyway, over here, and then just some option parts that you can do. Customize 1 point. It looks like you can use some parts here to attach the arms onto the back rather than onto the arms. So that could be pretty cool. Maybe a little bit more stable, and it frees up the hands or frees up the arms to maybe hold on to some different weapons or something like that. You could multitask, adding more weapons, and of course customizing this with some different option parts here. Those parts are these would be from the heavy weapons set number 6 and 10. Looks like basically, and then everything in between is just construction, so don't really need to go through that. It's just building the whole figure. We'll also have, of course, our parts list here as well. The few parts that we won't use. Basically like the Go-Rise knife, well, you can always use that of course, it's not exactly unusable. Of course you can have that as an extra added weapon, but it's just all general construction as usual, and then just our last kind of fold out page just going over the construction of the weapons and the leg there, the extra leg. So alright, let's get a look quickly through the runners, shall we? Alright, so once again here's a look at the waterslide decal sheet. Not really too extensive there, but a couple little nice markings. But you definitely, if you wanted some more markings, you can always add some from HIQ or some whatever other decal company you want to add some more markings to that. And our pre-painted faces there. Of course the quality of the painting looks nice, just the expression is maybe a little bit boring. We just got looking straight ahead, looking off to the right, and looking off to the left. That's pretty much it. We have a couple of parts here separated just because they're pre-painted. This little ball piece I think is not pre-painted, it's just cut out there and off to the side. But this part there for around the collar is in white there. Then we've got our hand options: closed fists, open resting hands, open expressive hands, holding hands, trigger finger hands, and then a couple of springs for the weapons. I think they have like some spring loaded action in them, so we'll check that out in the review. We've got our typical Frame Arms Girl base plate here for that in light gray. We got a flesh tone polycap runner here as well. And everything else will go in alphabetical order, but I'll just point this runner out first. It's just runner W in black here for a few wrist joint parts. Right then, runner A is our skin tone parts for the upper arms, upper legs, and torso. Runner B here in light gray, some of just the armor parts around for that. And then runner C as well, some more of the armor parts here in gray. We've got two of the C runner. Runner D would be all of our hair parts, looks like basically in white for this. Runner E is all the parts for the bare armored off arm and leg for this, as well as again that knife which we have included as well. Runner F is some joint parts there for the ankles, the knees, and wrists. We've got two of this F runner here in black. Runner G is a few more of the smaller little detail parts here in gray. Runner H, some more of the body parts here in black, including parts for the skirt and some leg parts and all of that. And then runner I is one more flesh tone part here, I believe, for the neck. Now that is the conclusion of all the parts for the actual Frame Arms Girl Architect Girl. Now we're getting into the weapons parts. The additional parts are added for this version of the kit here. So we got runner A here, and this is marked for MW 27/28, so MW would be monster weapon, we'll call that. I can't remember offhand what it stands for, but anyway, we've got two of these, and this is in like black, but it looks like, and it's sort of like metal injected black. I don't think so. I think it's just black, basically just black. It might be slightly metallic injected. And then we're going to be here as well in that same color, also just with the same runner marking there. So this would be just the kind of things like if you were buying this weapon set separately on its own, you'd be able to get these all. I'm not sure if the color is different from the color that it comes in when you just buy it separately, though that could be. And I am pretty sure this is slightly metallic injected, but that's definitely the case here with runner C. This is a silver metallic color molded plastic here, and this one is just marked MW27. So this looks like parts for making like the fist option. And this other C runner here is marked MW28, and this looks to be the parts for making the clawed version. So we've got two of this one here as well, also in that molded silver. So there we have it. That's everything for the Frame Arms Girl Architect. So like I said, I've already basically reviewed the kit by itself. So in the review, we'll just kind of, it should be pretty quick. I won't really go over like the articulation or anything like that of the figure itself, because like I said, we've already covered that in the previous review. But we'll take a look at some different weapons and posing options, things that you can do with the weapons that are exclusive to this version of the Architect Girl if you did want to pay a little bit more for this. But if you don't want them, then you can just go for the off-white version, save yourself some money, and get it in that different color. That is if you want to paint. If you do want a gray one though, of course you just have to go with this original version if you aren't planning on painting that. So anyway guys, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you again to USA Gundam Store for their support. Check the link to their site there down below. If you have questions or comments, of course, feel free to leave those in the comment section below as well. And I'll see you in the review. Bye guys.